Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dana. Thanks again for watching. On this channel, it is all about SMS, which is skincare, makeup, sunscreen. So if you're interested in any of those three things, hopefully you stick around. If not, bye. Anyway, it's a Monday morning. I'm not fully awake, so I'm gonna be getting into the swing of things, but we've got some videos to cover and I wanted to start off my week on a good note, and I hope you're having a good day, week, night, whatever, wherever you are. So yeah, if you're having a good day or if you're having a bad day, I would consider subscribing and liking, because I don't know, it's just fun, right? So we've got some new sunscreens. I feel like a new sunscreen is released every day and I am trying my best to stay up to date. But the first one I just got on Friday and I have been wearing it nonstop. I am in love, really truly. And I don't say that, like, I don't feel like I say that with every sunscreen. There are definitely some that I like more than others, and some I'm like, it's not bad, it's just not for me. This one is for me. I hope it's for you. I really, really like it. So without much more rambling, as you can tell from the video title, we're talking about K Skin. This is by Winnie Harlow. She is I think she's a supermodel. I think we can say that. And I hadn't really heard of it, but then I just it popped up on my feed and I started researching it a little bit and I was like sold immediately. Like, it did not take long. They also shipped really quickly in this tiny little box, which I like. I do like minimal packaging. I think this is great. It gets you exactly what you need. And then we have the two packages here. Again, this, I don't know why I say again, because I was talking about it on my Instagram. This packaging is absolutely stunning. I love these kind of earthy tones, but with the pops of this red, or not red, this is like an orange. It's like the Hermes orange. I think it's just stunning. It's not fancy by any stretch, but I just think there's something about this that I love. So this is what the packaging looked like. I'm gonna put these back in there. And we're going to talk about the two sunscreens I got. So I think they have a lip sunscreen and maybe a body one as well, but I don't really tend to go for those. That's just not my thing. So I got the two facial ones, and we have one that is a mineral, no, this is the mineral, one a mineral sunscreen and one that's a chemical sunscreen. And that sounds pretty obvious and boring, but also these I feel like are kind of different than so many other brands, and that's what I like to see. I like to see brands like revolutionizing and changing things up, because it's easy to just put out a mineral sunscreen and for it to kind of suck. That's not what they did here. So I'm not going to talk much more. I'm going to put my new favorite clip in my hair and we're going to put them on my face. This is a chemical sunscreen, which means it has 3% avobenzone, 5% octisalate, and 10% octocrylene. Ta-da! That took no time. So I didn't even really need to fast forward that portion, because this stuff goes on like a dream. It's so easy. I think it's absolutely stunning. I think it's also because I have a light medium to medium skin tone. In the summer I definitely have a deeper skin tone, and this has a little bit more, it says pearl, but I think it's a little more goldeny of an undertone versus the Supergoop one, which is kind of the one I'm comparing it to in my head. It just goes on so easily. And what I love more than anything, I'm gonna get into the specs in a second. What I love more than anything is it doesn't feel tacky. It's almost dry to the touch and I just put it on. I love that, because there's so many others glowy things that just feel like you're gonna get your hair stuck in it. It's gonna be glowy and tacky all day, and I don't feel like this is that way. This just sinks in immediately. Okay. So as you can tell from the bottle, this is a plastic bottle. It is all recyclable except for the top, which is pretty cool. And I just think that this is stunning. Who has a brown sunscreen that looks like this? Beautiful. It's SPF 45, which I love. It also retails for $32 and comes in 1.5 fluid ounces, which is 45 milliliters. So you're getting a little bit less than the standard sunscreen, which is usually about 1.7 fluid ounces, but I'm okay with it. It's not cheap. This is $32. This would be like a Sephora brand pricing. But I think that for what you're getting, it's worth it just because it is so different than so many other brands. It does have a scent, and I'm pretty sure they did that just to make it like beachy, waves, ocean, resort, that kind of thing. I started writing down the different, what I believe are essential oils in it. And I was like, oh, that's okay. Like we got like 3, 4. And then it was like the next line and the next line. So there are quite a few in there. And I think if you do tend to have like any irritation or redness or itching, whatever it may be, from essential oils, this one might be, I would say, too much for you. But I can't say for sure. I just know that there are quite a few. Honestly though, it has a very light scent, so it was surprising that it had so much essential oil in it, or scent or fragrance, whatever it may be. And then the other thing that I mentioned already is that they call it lightweight, and I would 100% agree with that. This is not the one that you're going to put on if you need moisture and hydration during the day. But it does sink in, which is something, again, I said that already. I really, really appreciate that. I just find so many sunscreens just feel like they're on your face all day and they're not absorbing. So I do love this. This for me is the perfect, like I can just put this on and run out the door and maybe like throw on some mascara or whatever. And I think this is enough. Like I don't really feel like I need more. Maybe like taking my hair out of the clip so I don't look so crazy. They also say that it's silicone free, which I don't really have a problem with, but if that's something that's important to you, that is good to know. And then what I mentioned before, the pearlescent part of the glow, it's definitely glowy. I don't find it to be overly glowy, and I don't find it to be unnaturally glowy. I'm gonna do a side-by-side comparison on my hand with the Supergoop one, the glow screen, and then this, and I want you to kind of see the difference. It's subtle, but when you put the whole thing on your face, I think it's more pronounced. There's no cast, but it's a chemical sunscreen, so really there shouldn't be, and I have not found it to have any eye sting. But I have said this before, and I'm going to try to do a better job of saying it. What I like, what works for me and my skin, might not work for you, and that's okay. So it's very hard for me to say, like, just because this one doesn't have an eye sting, it won't for you. It's just something to keep in mind. But for me, like, this is pretty close to my perfect chemical sunscreen. Like, yes, very, very close. Especially because the fact that it's 45 SPF. Like, I feel like so many brands just come out with 30. Like, they're just like, that's easy. We don't need to do more. But this is 45, and the mineral one is 55. Yeah, I love that. Just love it. So, I really don't have many complaints about this one. I could see, if you do have a lighter skin tone, that this might be a little too bronzed and glowy. But, you know, I think it's pretty cool for people that are medium or deeper skin tones. Okay, I'm gonna go wash this off, and I'm gonna put on the mineral one. Laters. Okay, next up we have the mineral sunscreen. This is called the Universal Mineral Face Lotion. Not that hard to say. Don't know why I couldn't say it. This one is 50 milliliters or 1.7 fluid ounces, pretty standard size, and it retails for $34. So $32, $34, just a little bit more for the mineral sunscreen, but you're also getting a little bit more product. This one, I like to talk about like them innovating. They did that. This is very reminiscent to me in a lot of ways of the Live Tinted Hue Guard. So if you liked that one, you will probably like this one. Very, very similar. That was in my top favorites for 2021, that sunscreen. So the second I saw this, I was like, I think I'm gonna like it. And I'm gonna be honest, you don't even have to be that careful for a mineral sunscreen when you're applying it, like you do with so many others. Okay, again, I didn't necessarily even need to speed that up because I really think both of these go on so easily. When you're looking at my face compared to the last one with the Isle Glow, My face is a little bit lighter, but it doesn't feel like it's casty. I don't think that there is a cast. You can maybe find a little bit of a cast when you're like at your hairline or in your eyebrows, but that's pretty typical of all mineral sunscreens. This one, I don't think that I have a cast, like in person or on camera, which is impressive because this is 12% zinc oxide. It's non-nano if that's important to you. It does not have a scent, and I would say that this is as close to no cast as possible without it actually being like a tint, as like a skin color tint. It is yellow though, like the tint is yellow, which is again why I say it's very reminiscent of the Hue Guard from Live Tinted. That one is more like orangey, and I think they both are on the right path. Like this is what needs to be done with mineral sunscreens, because when it's just white, it doesn't matter how nice the formula is, there's going to be a cast because zinc oxide that's like one of the main properties of it, and that's why it works as sunscreen. But if you can incorporate colors that are more neutral and not necessarily have to be like skin tone colors, but like yellow, orange, those types of things, I think that's when you get something that's a bit more universal for a mineral sunscreen. This one is supposed to be lightweight. It's also supposed to be, they say hydrating. I wouldn't go so far as to say that, just because I have tried so many sunscreens and mineral sunscreens where like I can tell that this one is not going to be the one throughout the day where my face is still glowy at the end of the day and like actually moisturized. I think of the COTS one and then the ultraviolet. Those two are going to give you like long lasting hydration. This one, it has a nice glow to it. I don't have any issues with it. It doesn't feel matte at all, but it's not going to like provide you with that if that's what you need or want. One thing that I do like about this is just like the Isle Glow, this one tends to feel like it's setting quicker than most mineral sunscreens. I just love that I don't feel like it's greasy on my face. It doesn't feel like it's moving around and then it's gonna just like move at the swipe of a hand or something. I would say that this one will give you a little bit more of a satin natural finish. Obviously this one's gonna give you a glowy finish. That's kind of the point of it. I think it's unique in the color, but I also think it's pretty unique in the finish for a mineral sunscreen. Oftentimes when you have a mineral sunscreen, they kind of overcompensate the dry factor of the zinc oxide by putting like lots of oils in it. This one, it doesn't say that it's oil free, but it feels lighter than a lot of mineral sunscreens that I found. So if you have more normal to oily skin, this could be a very good option without it actually having to be just 100% matte. Okay, I'm gonna go get my Supergoop and I'm gonna do the comparison of the Isle Glow to that, and we'll be right back. It's subtle. This is the Supergoop. This is the Isle Glow. But can you see that this one is a bit more golden? This one has just a lighter shade to it. That's all it is. It's just about the shade. So I can understand why people rave about the glow screen, because now that I've found one that works for my skin tone, I'm like, oh, this is wonderful. And I think my only issue with this before is that it was just too, but if you have a deeper skin tone and this one did not work, I would say that this one could be beautiful for you. And if you have a lighter skin tone and you wanted something that is a bit more bronzy, this could also work. But it's a really subtle thing. Like I'm looking on my hand here, and the Supergoop almost like runs a little yellow, whereas the K-Skin seems to be kind of like, just like a little bit more brownish golden. All right, guys. So I think that's about it. I was pleasantly surprised by this brand, which is, I mean, sometimes you buy stuff and you're like, I don't know what to expect. And that was 100% what happened here. But I just think that they did a fabulous job of innovating and creating something that's not really on the market for so many people. This might not work for you, for everyone, for all skin tones, especially like with lighter skin. But I think it's definitely targeted to kind of fitting a wider variety of skin tones, which is absolutely amazing to see. And yeah, after I've had the mineral sunscreen on now for like 5 minutes, and it's not dried down 100%, but it's so much better than so many mineral sunscreens, and I love, love, love that. So I think that's it for today. We're gonna close it off here. I think these are both wonderful options and they kind of serve very different purposes, but I'm gonna be taking this to Florida when I go because I think it's a perfect everyday sunscreen, but it's definitely like a good vacation sunscreen. So I'm very excited to keep trying it. And yeah, just well done. Like, this is a wonderful brand and I love to see it coming out. So good job, Winnie Harlow, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.